Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film Ted, the directorial debut of Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy fame, and it is about a little boy in the 1980s who wishes on a shooting star that his teddy bear would come to life and be his real friend. Now he is 35 years old, living with his girlfriend Mila Kunis, and he's played by Mark Wahlberg, and he's still living with his teddy bear Ted, who was a celebrity for a little bit and now is just living with him, drinking, smoking weed, just chilling out with him, watching movies and laughing. I used to like Seth MacFarlane when Family Guy started. I actually was a really big fan of Family Guy. And then when it came back, I kind of got out of it, and some of them, when I watch them, very much annoy me. I agree with some, like what South Park says, where it's like a manatees picking random things, and like some of the jokes, I think are just kind of annoying, and like the cutaways don't really have much to do with the plot. So I wasn't really thrilled to see Ted, I guess, but I actually thought it was pretty well done. The cutaway thing actually worked a little better in a motion picture because he's not... Family Guy is very stagnant, you know? It's like the camera doesn't move that much. It's a little dull. And Ted, I noticed if they did do a cutaway joke, the camera setup would actually be different. And it kind of brought a lot of life to this film that like made me actually want to laugh at the cutaways. And the cutaways actually had a little bit more to do with the plot than they usually do in Family Guy. It felt like more organic towards the character. The characters are really strong. You know, Ted and Mark Wahlberg's character actually work really well as friends. Like the whole time I really bought them as friends. They had like friend jokes that they had. They acted a certain way around each other that they didn't act around other people. They really felt like best friends, you know? I totally bought that these guys were friends since 1985. Mila Kunis is also really good as Mark Wahlberg's girlfriend in the film, and she wants Ted to move out and them to move on with their lives and hopefully get married or something. I actually like kind of just that conflict in the film. I thought it drove the film really well, and they have these like interesting like Flash Gordon references all the time. Even the star of Flash Gordon's in it, and Tom Skerritt's mentioned a lot. And Joel McHale, I liked. He's just kind of doing Joel McHale, being a dick. It has this weird thing with Giovanni Ribisi where he really wants to kidnap Ted, and it kind of derails the third act into like, oh, it's like a typical Hollywood movie. You have to have this big conflict at the end for literally no reason. I didn't think it worked really well. I really actually would have preferred if it had just been like about Ted, John, Mark Wahlberg's character, and then Mila Kunis' character as well. That would be the conflict. It's just Giovanni Ribisi. It felt like kind of a cheat, and I didn't really like that. I thought this film actually was pretty well structured up until that point. I didn't laugh at every joke. Sometimes I really do think, you know, I don't mind offensive humor, but sometimes I feel like he crossed the line and is actually just offensive. It's like not really funny. But I laughed a lot more than I thought I would, and it got me in kind of a mood that like I would laugh at jokes that maybe if I heard in a different setting I wouldn't have laughed at. You know, it kind of wins you over. And sure, even the ending's like a bit of a mess. I just really thought the ending was like kind of, there are a lot of loose ends in the ending. It went on just a bit too long. It's not the kind of film that I would rush out to. I'm kind of embarrassed that I like a Seth MacFarlane thing, but I'm kind of like one of those people that if I had a good experience, I'll admit it. So if you have seen Ted and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe if you would like to.